This is the next hat pattern that we're going to learn how to make. It's real similar to the slip stitch hat or the one that Bob Wilson had on her channel, except for this one doesn't have a drawstring. You start with slip stitches, then single crochet, and then half double crochets in back loop to make this hat. And I don't have written instructions for it. It's just a basic pattern that you use and adjust it to suit you. So you want a skein of medium worsted weight yarn, and what I'm using is an H. See if I can get that in shot. There we go, an H or a 5mm crochet hook. And the reason I use an H is to make it a little denser fabric so that it'll be warmer for the head. And if you want a summer beanie, you can use the same pattern with cotton yarn. So I'm going to pause it here and we'll get started. First of all, we're going to want some measurements. You're going to want to measure your head from the crown to the bottom of your ear and add 3 inches. And that's how long you want to make your chain. If you're making it for someone else for charity, a good rule is make it 12 to 14 inches long. So make a chain that's 12 to 14 inches long, and then I will come back. So pause the video here. Okay, for me 50 chains was 12 inches. So if you want to do it 50 chains, or you can just do the chain and then measure it, because everybody's gauge is a little different. Okay, we're going to start out with 3 slip stitches, and we're going to work in the top loop only of this chain. So you go in and you make 1, 2, 3 slip stitches, and then you make 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to half double crochet across the rest of the chain, and when you do your very last half double crochet, go under 2 loops. Okay, now I'm going to resume here, and we're going to put a half double crochet under 2 loops of that first chain. Okay, now we're going to chain 1, but this time we're going to do it loosely, like pull it up just a little bit. 2 chains will be too tall, and 1 regular chain would be too short for this. So you want to make your first chain on the end loose. And then we're going to half double crochet in both top loops of that first one, like this. Now the rest of the stitches across, we're going to work in back loop only. So we're going to half double crochet in each half double crochet across, and single crochet in each single crochet in back loop only, and slip stitch in each slip stitch in back loop only. So you do the same stitch in the stitch that you're going into, and you're doing a back loop only. The only one that we don't do back loop only is the one on this edge here, because this is the cuff and you want to have a nice straight line on that edge. So that's why I do that, and you can choose not to. You'll have like a little scalloped edge on the edge of your cuff if you did that. So I'm going to half double crochet all the way across, and when I get to the single crochet, I'll resume the video. Half double crocheted all the way across. I have 1 more half double crochet. You can see your half double crochet by this little loop that comes across on it, so you know that you do a half double crochet in the back loop of that stitch. And the next one, single crochet, because you can see these horizontal lines. But if you have trouble recognizing it, you can put a stitch marker, or you can just count from this end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know that you start single crocheting in the 8th stitch in, and you single crochet in 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to slip stitch in the back loop of the slip stitches. So you got to turn it over so you see that V. And you kind of use your fingernails so you can get up under there, see? And you want to make your slip stitches loose enough because you know you're going to work back in them, so don't pull them really tight. And then the last one, like so. And then we're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to do the same thing all the way across as we did at the beginning. Working in the back loop only, slip stitch in 3, slip stitch in 3, back loop only, single crochet in 5, back loop only. And then when you get there, half double crochet all the way across to the other end. And remember, when you get into the end stitch, you want to go through both loops. So I'm going to pause it here, and when I get to the other end, I'll show you what I mean by both loops. Okay, I'm at the other end. I'm going to do a half double crochet the next to last stitch, and then half double crochet in both loops. So you might have to pull this out a little to see that little loop there. You go in there and under 2 to make your stitch. Half double crochet. You see, I've done a few rows, so it's a nice straight edge. Now, I want you to repeat that until you get your piece measuring from this end the length of the circumference of the head minus an inch. This hat I have for demonstration. The hat size I wanted to make was 22 inches, and I did it 21, and this will stretch to fit a bigger head, but it also fits the smaller one if you don't stretch it. So I have to go with your instincts. I make adult hats to fit my head so that I know these foam wig heads are a little smaller than an average adult head. So continue that pattern until it's the size you need, until it's the length of the circumference of the head. And continue that, and then when I get to the piece the size that I need, then I will resume and show you how to finish it off.